Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is JJ. I hope you guys are well. So today I have another 1:18 scale model to show you guys. It is a Ford GT40 MK1. I'm sure you guys are already familiar with this car if you have seen the movies called Ford versus Ferrari, whereby Christian Bale and Matt Damon were starring in the movie, acting as Carroll Shelby and Kent Mile. So this Ford GT40 MK1 is actually based on a real car. So it is not something that Solido have just decided to put on a random livery on the model car. So this 1:18 scale model is diecast. As I mentioned, it is made by Solido. This model car, I think I only paid something in between 50 to 60 pounds, and I bought it from Amazon about a year ago. So I would consider this as a lower budget model, comparing to something like Auto Art, Almost Real, and even Mini Champ or LCD models, stuff like that. But if you don't normally display your model cars with all the panels open, then this model is actually quite good. I actually quite like it myself, even though I like model cars that has all, the full opening features. But this is not too bad. At least it has the opening doors on each side. The front wheel can be steered and it's connected to the inside steering wheel. All the wheels spin as well, and I think that is pretty much it. But if you look at the paint job, it is actually quite nice. You can see the glittering under the green color, as well as the really bright yellow racing stripes and the number 61 livery on the side doors as well as the front bonnet. So what I will do now, I will show you guys the original packaging that came with the model car, and then I will pick up the model car and I will show you more of the details on the outside as well as the inside. So this is the packaging that came with the Ford GT40. It is made by Solido. You can see there is a mount inside the box, which attached the model car to the base. You could use that to display your model car as well, since this has the Ford GT40 printed on the stand. There's some information on the back about Solido themselves, and you could always follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then at the bottom, it shows important, please retain the box. The model is not suitable for children under 14 years of age due to small removable parts. And there's a label there with a reference number, and it is for the Ford GT40 MK1 Racing Custom in green color. And there is a official license sticker as well, which is pretty cool. One thing that the packaging also come with, apart from the obvious model car, the base stand, you will also get this opening tools. You will find this on the underside of the base, and it is sellotaped to the corner. So if you were too focusing on the top surface with the model car, you might have missed this inside the packaging, which is quite a useful tool. I use this opening tools on my other models as well. So what I'll do now, I will bring the model car closer to the camera, and then I will show you guys all the details. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this 1:18 scaled model of Ford GT40 MK1 is based on a real car. So if you Google it, you will be able to find something similar to this. This is the real life Ford GT40 MK1 race car with the green and yellow livery and number 61 number. So this is what this model car is based on. I think the only thing that I could see that's different compared to the model car are the model car doesn't have the front carnage. It is smooth on the model, and also the side mirrors, they are also not on the model car. Apart from that, I think it looks pretty much the same, but this is the real car, and this is the replica of the real car, and it still looks pretty decent. So let's take a look at the model car. So on the underside, it shows Ford GT40 Widebody Mark1. It is a 1:18 scale model made by Solido. There are some chassis details on it, but not a lot. These 4 mounts are for fastening the model car to the base plate inside the packaging. And then there are some engine and transmission details, as well as the suspension arms details painted in a silver color. So it's not a lot on the undersides. So looking at the front, there's a nice Ford Racing logo with Jim Click on top, and the very bright yellow color racing stripes that goes from, well, it goes around the front bumper, and then it goes all the way from the front through the roof to the back, all the way to the exhaust pipe area. The headlight details are okay. The lamp cluster is pretty good. You can see there is a black outline, as well as the painted rivet. So all of these silver dots are painted on. And then the front bonnet locking mechanism, they are printed on. So all of these 6 pins, they are printed on. The color of the model car is done pretty nicely. I think the overall paintwork is pretty good. I really like the color. Same as the yellow painting or the yellow graphic, that is also done really nicely. In terms of details, as I mentioned earlier, there is no side mirror, but you do get the fuel cap in chrome. That is very shiny, and the details is pretty good. You can't open this because this is just a single piece of molded plastic, but the chrome color is done really nicely. The trunk cover, this looks like it could be opened. To me, it looks like it is a separate piece of metal, but you can't open this. And then in the middle of the bonnet, there is a air vent, similar to the Narcoduct air vent, and it is perforated. And there's also two smaller ones on the side, and that is also perforated. The front intake, you can see there is a molded piece of mesh, so it is not like a real mesh or perforated mesh that Auto Art would do. So this is just a solid piece of plastic with some texture on it. And then same as the side air vent, that is also just a solid piece of black plastic. The fog lamp is done pretty nicely. The outside cluster, it has a clear piece of plastic, and it also has black surrounding. The actual lamp is a separate piece, and it also has the chrome highlights around the lamp itself, as well as the backing of it. So it looks pretty cool. The indicator, you can feel it is raised, but it is painted on. So let's look further. So the windscreen, again, it is just a piece of clear plastic with black surrounding. The wiper is a separate piece of molded plastic, and you can see the dash is also a molded piece of plastic with some texture or indentation to simulate the air vent. The roof is pretty simple, just a standard painted over green roof with the yellow racing stripes. There is a slight raised area. I believe that would be brake light or some sort. And then there is another silver pin for the rear clamshell, and another clear window at the back that also has the black surrounding. And you can see there is a very basic piece of molded plastic to simulate the engine compartment. As I mentioned earlier, you can't open the rear clamshell, so little they didn't even bother to put the engine details on this model, apart from the small engine top. It would be nice if Solido can be bothered to at least paint some graphics or even slap a sticker on this area just to give a little bit of details rather than just leaving it as a black piece of plastic. But if you're just displaying the model in your cabinet, then it is not too bad at all, I guess. And then next to the rear engine window, you will see there are 2 ducts, one on each side, and that go right through to the engine, as you can see. And then behind the window you have got this, I presume is some sort of air vent for the heat escaping the engine compartment. And then you have these 2 pins for the rear clamshell, and that's actually a separate piece, and they are slightly raised as well. And you have a bit of ducktail right at the end, and there is a circular piece that stick out. I'm not quite sure what that is, and it's only showing on the right hand side, so perhaps I don't think that is for the fuel or anything, because the fuel cap is at the front. So if you guys know what that is, then please leave your comment underneath and to let me know. So looking at the back of the model car, you can see there are more simulated vent that is painted in a matte black color, sorry. And then in the center rear bumper area, there are some textured plastic as well as the chrome color exhaust pipe. The exhaust is done quite nicely. It says chrome and it is shiny. The brake lights are pretty decent too. Consider this is a lower budget model, so there are some texture and details on the actual brake lights, and you can see there's another piece of chrome plastic underneath the red brake lights. And then you can see the transmission or gearbox as well, that is only painted. So looking at the side, you can see the tire. They're quite chunky, and it's printed Avon on the tire wall. The tire tread, pretty good. The actual wheel itself is not bad at all. You can see there is also a locking nuts, that triangular piece in the middle with the gold color ring. And they also bothered to put the valve cap as well, but this is just molded onto the wheel. And then if you look through the alloy wheel, you can see there is a brake disc as well as the silver brake caliper as well. I know the brake disc doesn't have much details on it, it's just a plain piece of silver disc, but at least the disc does spin through the brake caliper, so they are actually two separate pieces. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. The disc actually spin through the brake caliper. It's pretty cool. There's no suspension for the front wheels, and it is the same for the rear wheels as well. So the rear wheels, they are slightly wider and also higher profiled as well, but similar to the front tires, it is printed Avon on the side. Tire tread pattern is pretty cool, and it does have the valve cap as well at 6 o'clock position, and the wheel itself is the same style as the one at the front, just that the rear one has a greater offset. You can see there's like a dip dish effect on it, and again similar to the front wheel, it does have brake disc and brake caliper at the back. And then on the side you can see there is a painted silver strip, so that is just the locking mechanism for the front shell. And then the yellow racing stripe on the side body skirt showing Ford GT, same as the other side, and the racing number 61, as well as the door opening mechanism is also painted in silver. I believe that is a separate piece that has been glued onto the door panel. The actual driver side window is a clear piece of plastic with I think this is a slightly green surrounding on the side, but the top bar is matte black, and they also painted the rivets in a silver color, and also the sliding window is painted with the silver clips as well, and it is exactly the same on the other side. Underneath the side window, next to the opening door mechanism, you can see there is a air vent. This is a side air vent, and I believe it's to duct air to cool the rear wheel or rear brake as well as the engine, but it is not perforated, as you can see. Right at the end of the duct is just painted in a matte black paint, and it's the same on the other side. So both the front and rear has the silver strips, which replicates the locking mechanism for the front and rear clamshell. You can see it on the left side as well. So just want to show you guys the wheels. They do rotate. And the front wheels, they do steer. And you can see it is connected to the steering wheel inside the cockpit. So let's open the two doors. So on the driver's side, you can see the door card has got some sort of indentation. I'm not quite sure what the indentation is trying to replicate, but I presume that might be the bar to shut the door. And then there's some texture there. The actual door seal is pretty thick, so you really need to climb into the cockpit to get to the driver's seat. There are some details on the seat itself. Let me zoom in to show you guys. There are some gold circles on both seats, and you will see them on the backing of the seat as well. You can see the rear view mirror right there. So the mirror is actually painted in a matte silver color rather than a shiny piece of sticker. The steering wheel is pretty cool. You can see the center cap is painted in silver, as well as they have put a sticker on top which show the Ford GT logo with the red at the top and the blue at the bottom, and the Momo steering wheel logo on the steering wheel as well. And then you can see the indicator and other windscreen wiper levers behind the steering wheel. The dash itself is okay. You can see all the details, the gauges, they're all stickers, but they're all there. And there's also a lot of switches underneath the gauges. So it is actually not too bad in terms of the interior details. There is also a gear selector right there with the black gear knob, and there's also another plate painted in silver as well, though I'm not sure what that is for. There are some details on the air vent as well. That's pretty cool. Let's check out the other side, shall we? So again, on the door seal, you see this silver plate, just like the driver's side. And straight away you will notice the bright red fire extinguisher in front of the passenger seat. There is a clear window behind the driver and passenger seats as well, which look into the engine bay, though there's not a lot of details there. I haven't noticed any seat belts behind the seats, so seat belts are not there. But overall the interior is actually quite okay. You can see the air vent on the passenger side as well, which is just there. And as you know, this is a lower budget model, so there is no carpeting as such. And I think that's everything about this model car. I hope you guys like the model as well as enjoying the review video. This is a lower budget model, so there isn't that much to show, and I hope I have captured everything on this model car. Let me show you guys from a different angle of the steering. So the cockpit steering wheel is actually connected to the front wheel. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the Ford GT40 MK1 made by Solido. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a 1:18 scale die-cast model, and I think Solido have made quite a nice model. Consider this is a lower budget model, but the model car itself, it does look quite nice, to be honest, and I can recommend you to get one to add to your collection, as long as you're not paying crazy money for it, because there isn't a lot of information, sorry, not information, a lot of details inside the car, but the exterior is done very nicely, I have to say. So if I have to give my rating out of 10, consider this is a low budget model car, I would give this model 7 out of 10. I'll give them a lot of credit for the overall paintwork. The entire car is spray painted really nicely. The glittering effect is really nice. The contrast between the metallic green and the bright flat yellow color is really good. The interior, as I mentioned, it is pretty good, but could do better. And I think, you know, the few points that I have deducted are mainly because the engine bay is done quite poorly. There isn't much details on it apart from a single piece of molded plastic, and that's about it. Everywhere else it's pretty good. So there you are, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the review video. If you like it, make sure you give me a like and keep following my channel. Subscribe to my channel as well. And don't forget to ring the notification bell, so when I have my next video, you will be notified straight away. And I think I will wrap up here. Thanks for watching my video. I look forward to seeing you guys again in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.